I'm so glad to see you. Thanks for stopping by and joining me today. I'm excited about the projects that we have to work on. Last week we had started a few things for the studio, just working on a few pieces of art to kind of liven up the walls in here. Some of them were just kind of bare and plain and a little drab. So we started working on some things and we're going to finish those up this week. We are going to make a really cool, like just DIY abstract art with some yardsticks, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a bit. And then we're going to do an acrylic painting, and I have to be honest, the filming didn't go so well on this. I lost some of my footage. I had some issues with my computer, and while we were getting things fixed, some of my footage got lost. So we're probably going to speed through a lot of that acrylic painting because I don't have all of the footage. And the watercolor piece that I did for under here was an epic fail. So I will show it to you guys, but it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. I could have done a lot better, and I'm not sure what was going on that day, but my heart just wasn't in the painting, I guess, and so it did not turn out well at all. So I'll show it to you, but I'm not going to hang it. We'll have to redo that one. So anyway, so I guess we're just gonna go ahead and get started and jump on into our projects. See y'all out in the shop.
Our first project today is going to be a little on the, well, funky side, but I think I'm going to really love it. I had a pile of old yardsticks lying around that I've been collecting, so thought we would do something a little different and abstract with them. Michael was sweet enough to offer his help, so you'll get to listen to me pretending that I know what Michael is actually doing here. We are first going to cut 4 pieces of wood to form a very rustic frame. We're using pallet wood, but any scrap wood will work just fine for this project. After we get all our pieces cut to size, we will use our router to cut a groove in the top and bottom pieces of our frame, and this will keep our yardsticks in place. Next, we will glue all the outer frame pieces together and secure them with clamps while the glue completely dries. And we also add a few pin nails just to add a little extra strength. While the glue is setting up on our frame, we can get all our yardstick pieces cut so they'll fit inside the frame. And oh my gosh, y'all, I laughed so hard when Michael actually measured the yardstick with a yardstick or a tape measure, but
Turns out the laugh was all on me because these yardsticks were not actually accurate. That's why he's the professional and I just make the videos. We'll next lay out all the pieces to make sure they all fit properly before gluing them into place. And y'all, this is how it turned out. I just love it. What do you think? Next on the agenda is a pegboard. I've wanted one for a while that I could add to my sewing machine corner in the studio. So we set to work by first calculating and then precisely measuring out where each peg will be positioned on the board. Then Michael uses this fancy tool to do, well, actually, I have no idea what it does, so we'll just move on. Oh, okay, this one I know. We'll next use our router to round all the corners on the pegboard. Then we will cut all our pegs. We cut the angle first and then cut the pegs to length. And we are just using an old curtain rod, but any size dowel will work just fine. And this is how the pegs will be attached. Next, Michael uses his palm sander to round the edges on each peg. And I have no idea what happened to the footage of us actually attaching the pegs, but this is how it turned out. It is just perfect for this spot. Back in the studio, we will make a cute little wreath to hang on our pegboard. And I prefer using these wire wreath frames to form all my wreaths. That was a mouthful. But you could also use the foam forms as well. Another mouthful. I'm just going to separate each of the stems so I can more easily attach them to the form. And I use zip ties to attach the greenery. These are so easy to use and hold the greenery firmly in place. The greenery I'm using here I found at Walmart. They are super inexpensive, almost always have them, and I stock up whenever I find them so that I always have them on hand for projects such as this. I just keep placing my greenery around the wreath, all going the same direction until it looks full and fluffy. I will also add some lavender and these green dandelion looking things for color and texture. Here it is, all finished. This wreath really rounds out this pegboard and adds a pop of color to my sewing corner. Finally, we will finish up with an acrylic painting. If you watched last week's video, then you know I'm trying to create some art pieces to fill a few empty walls in my studio. And for one of the walls, I really wanted a rather large piece, as the wall that it will be its home is pretty big. The canvas we are working on today is a 24 by 24 inch stretched canvas, and I am using acrylic paints. I will also list the specific colors I use down in the description box for you. I begin by just splashing some paint on the canvas to create a backdrop of sorts. I want the sky in this painting to have a cloudy, moody feel, so I'll be using lots of grays and whites in the sky, and I like to add just a hint of burnt umber to my gray to warm it up a bit. For the landscape in the foreground, I'll be using a lot of browns and greens as the background colors. I also add in a hint of white to blend in with the green, adding just a bit of streakiness to the overall effect. I have somewhat of a vision for this painting and know that I want the outcome to be soft and moody, but I couldn't find any one piece that I liked, so I'm using several reference photos as my inspiration for this painting. And I guess we'll just keep laying paint and see what emerges under the brushes. so far we have been using a flat wash brush for most of this painting, but here I will switch to a stippling brush to add some detail to the more brushy areas in this painting. I am so sorry that my big head keeps getting in the way. You guys are definitely not seeing the better side of my messy hair bun here. I really apologize for all the hair shots. I really hope y'all enjoy the painting part of this video. Painting is my absolute favorite craft. I could easily spend hours and hours getting lost in a painting. But we'll get this one finished off with some detail to enhance the light in the water and create some shadows for depth and dimension, and then we'll call it done. I think the hardest part of art for me is knowing when to be finished and not overworking the piece. My hubs is always telling me better is the enemy of done.
Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I really enjoyed your company as we spent time working on some of these projects around the studio. I love everything that we did. I especially love this piece. It's my favorite. It's so fun and it's different, it's unique, and I just really love it. I'm happy with how it came out. It looks really good. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it's weird or do you think it's kind of cool? Let me know. So anyway, I loved working on our paintings together too, and hopefully we'll be able to get a painting for my gallery wall made soon. And when I do get that done, I'll be sure and show you guys. But I love how our acrylic piece turned out. It looks great hanging up on the wall over there. And now I just need to get my sweet hubbers to make me a cool frame for that painting, because I think that would look good. Like, it'd be fun. So anyway, well, I hope that you guys have a great rest of your week. I hope you are staying healthy and staying well, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. See you later. Bye.